Network on WCEGtalkradio.com. Watch us on your live stream tab or watch us live on your smart TV, on the YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn on the WCEG network. I'm Wardell Richardson, your show host here on WCEGwood, the Hollywood of the South for the next hour. We're your worldwide empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Subscribe free to our YouTube channel on the WCEG network. Like, follow, and connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and LinkedIn. Now, we have 2 new platforms. We have iOS, Apple, iPhone, and iPads, the apps. You can go to the Apple Store and search for WCEG Talk Radio. On the Apple TV, search for WCEG Network TV. And on the Apple Watch, search for WCEG Network. On the Android mobile phone and tablets, go to Google Play and search for WCEG Talk Radio. Last but not least, the disclaimer is the topics and opinions are those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. Thank you for your continued support. Once again, I am Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director, writer, host of WCEGwood, Hollywood of the South, and the CEO of Rain Dance Film. Man, we got a lot of great things coming to y'all this year and many years to come. So I'm very excited for the progression that we have been going through with my film company and the progression that we've been going through with WCEGwood, the Hollywood of the South. We got a lot of great things going on. But I cannot continue without asking everybody to please go out and support your boy. I got movies on Amazon Prime. I got movies on Tubi. I got movies on Peacock. I got movies everywhere. And I didn't even know half of them was on these different networks. So I just people that's happened to call me and say, hey, man, I just saw you on Peacock. I'm like, what? So I go to Peacock and sure enough, there's a movie on there. So I'm very excited about the things that's going on in my life. You know, God has been great. And I'm very excited about everyone that has been supportive of WCEGwood, the Hollywood of the South. With that being said, I have a great person who's a guest on my show right now. She is an amazing actress, and she became a good friend of mine as time went on. Her name is the lovely Letitia Argola. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, friend?
I am good. I'm glad that you had some time to come on the show.
Yeah, anything for you.
I had to bring you on, man. I see you doing your thing. You've been posting a lot of audition stuff that you've been having, which a lot of actors should be doing out here. You know, posting your success, posting your interviews, your auditions. Because the number one job for actors is promoting yourselves. I say that all the time. But before we get into all that, give us a little bit of you. Where you from, where you grew up, and if you're not from Atlanta, how you got here.
No, okay. So I was born in New York. I grew up in Savannah, Georgia. And I decided to, Savannah.
All right.
Yeah, from first grade through college, I lived in Savannah. Okay. And then I decided to make a change in my life, and I went to the Virgin Islands for about 5 years. And I was trying to decide. Whether to stay or come back. I was getting a little homesick for stateside and the luxuries of home, even though it's gorgeous down there. So I came here on a travel contract because I have a license. I have an RN license, but I also have a physical therapist assistant license. Came here to do a PT contract for 3 months. And 3 days after I arrived in Atlanta, Hurricane Maria, the one that devastated Puerto Rico, it devastated St. Croix first, but they didn't get as much media attention as Puerto Rico did. So my sister lives there. So when it hit, she was like, sister, you might as well stay in Atlanta because it's really bad here. Like, you know, we don't have power. We don't have anything. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. Now I can pursue my acting career and I can go hard because that's what I wanted to do anyway.
Right. So you grew up in Savannah, which is one of my favorite places to go and vacation. I go there all the time. I stay at the Belleterre breakfast, bed and breakfast right down. I can't remember the name of the street, but I love going there. I love doing the tours. Savannah's, you know, I love going down to the what is it where the candy store where they sell the candy?
River Street.
River Street.
Yeah.
River Street. So I love going down there. You know, it's a lot of fun. So, so I didn't know you grew up there. So
I
then you
did.
left. Now, what initiated you to go all the way to the Virgin Islands?
A divorce.
Okay.
And just needing. I left a bad situation, and I had a
Okay.
divorce, and I just wanted to change. I was like, life is short. I don't have any ties
Yeah.
to Savannah. I've been here the majority of my life. Let me do something different. Like, God is good, life is good. Let me go live.
That's
So
nice.
I went.
So you lived in Virgin Islands for 5 years. How was it living out there? Because I hear it's one of the most beautiful places, and I'm looking forward to going there eventually.
Man, when I wasn't at work, it was like being on vacation. And I had my own ritual, my own, because I didn't go to church down there. My worship service was Sunday brunch. I would wake up, go to Sunday brunch, and hang out by the beach the whole day. And then, because it's not daylight saving times there, it's this time year round, So the sun
Okay.
is up. The sun is up at 6, 7 o'clock. So I get off at work at 5, 5:30, have your swimsuit in your trunk, and onto the beach. Meet some friends for happy hour, whatever,
Right. And so then you come all the way back to Atlanta. You think you're gonna be here for a short minute, but then the hurricane comes.
Yes, yes. And my sister was like, "Sister, you might as well stay. It's so bad here." And she knows how I am. So she was right. I like the things they had to endure. I take my hat off to everyone who was there during that time, who had to
Yeah.
endure no power for 3, 4 months, who had to stand in line for ice. I'm not built like that. God knew. God
Yeah.
knew. I take my hats off to my friends who have kids and stuff. They're adults with kids now. So they had to go through this like their parents did. When they were little, they didn't know. They just knew they were out of school. It was
Absolutely.
hard on them. And so
Right.
I give them so much respect and so much credit for getting through it. And one of them,
Wow.
she's getting married in June. I'm going back for her wedding. So
Okay, all right. So is she's still in the Virgin Islands, or where is she?
yeah, she
Oh,
lives there.
okay.
That's her home. That's her home. And she was one of those people who was a child the last time they had a devastating hurricane. And now she's an adult with her own children. And she had to do the thing, she had to be strong for them. She had to be strong for herself. And somewhere along the way, she found love. And I'm so happy for her. And
So
so my friend Jan,
congratulations.
shout out to my friend Janny Gerson. She's getting married in June, so I'll be back down there for that for a short
That's what's
second.
up. So
So you can only book
congratulations from
out so long with your agent. I was like, I need to be gone for 4 days, okay? That's all, 4 days.
Congratulations from WCEG
That's
Wood.
right. That's my
Congratulations.
girl.
Okay. So you say you came to Atlanta and you got into acting. So what about acting piqued your interest?
Well, I always wanted to do it, but I had a lot of reserve about it because, back when we were growing up, you didn't see a lot of ladies on TV that looked like me. Not a lot. We had the great Miss Cicely, and Cheryl Lee Ralph here and there, some of the sitcoms who is killing the game right now. Like everything
Right.
I'm team Cheryl Lee Ralph. But it was me and my landlord. We made a routine because I also went to nursing school down there. Me and my landlord, we had a routine. It was my respite from studying and everything. We would watch How to Get Away with Murder. And I was like, look at Viola Davis. Like, she looks like me. Like,
Right.
she's killing it. I can do this. She helped me get my confidence up to be like, go ahead and pursue it. Because my thing used to be, I'm too thick. I've never been a skinny girl. I'm too thick. I'm too dark, whatever. So I didn't go hard. I wish I would have. But as my acting coach says, the timing, I did it when I was supposed to. The timing is right now for me.
And it's interesting because I don't think people of color really got looked at until Black Panther came out. And then that's what everybody said, okay, they can do something too. Duh.
Yeah. So you got Lupita, you got like I said, Viola Davis. Like she was my initial inspiration,
Right.
And then so I was like, well, shoot, she can do this, I can do this. I'm gonna go for it,
Yeah.
I was in community theater down there. Because like most of us who are in this, we did stuff off and on in high school, college, when we were little plays here and there. But I was shy when I was younger, and now I'm just an introvert. I just prefer to be. But when I was younger, I was shy. So I never wanted speaking parts, but I'm also a dancer. So I dance my little butt off. But when it was time to speak and have lines and stuff like that, like I was shy. Even with Easter speeches, I hated it. I loved my Easter outfit, but I hated having to get up and say the speech in front of the packed church. You know, all the people who hadn't been to church since last Easter. You know,
right.
So I hated it. I was shy. Well, somewhere along the way, but I've always loved to perform. I was a majorette in high school and college. Like, I like to show off. Just don't make me do it by myself. That's how I used to be, right? As long as somebody's to my left or my right, I'm good. But that's how I used to be. Now, you know, it's not like that. But when I was in the VI, I had this good friend at the time. Her name was Kim, and she was auditioning for a play. And, you know, she was like, you should do it too. You should do it too. So it was Dreamgirls. So we auditioned for it, and the bug bit me all over again. Because like I said, I always loved to perform. I always loved it. And then it was a musical. So I got to dance, sing, and act. Like, that was everything.
Right.
But then I started, I love theater, but I really like film and television. I really like, you know, like zoom in close up and where you get to use your eyes to tell a story. In the theater, you can't really see your eyes. So you got to be like, you know, but, you know, the way you can use your eyes, you know, to tell the story. I love film and television.
But you know what I always tell people? I always tell people, if you're going to start off in acting, start off in theater, because theater is the most difficult thing to do. Once you hit that stage, it is a wrap. It is no start over. It ain't no cut. It's nothing. You got to make this thing happen no matter what. That's where you learn a lot about improv and all that kind of stuff. Because I tell people, go see the same play 3 times in a row. It's going to be different every time. Because somebody's going to say something wrong. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Somebody's going to forget their lines. It's going to be a whole different thing. So, that's interesting that you say that. And as a person, you know, I had a show a while ago and I was talking about that, you know, us as dark-skinned people, you know, coming on the screen, trying to make an imprint in this industry.
Yeah.
Did you find that to be your biggest challenge when you got into this industry?
Yeah, but it's so let me get it together. I still feel like it plays a part, but because and actually after being on sets and stuff like that, I think it has a lot to do with it's a little more work with lighting and stuff. You know, because I've been somewhere where they filmed the thing and I looked black as tar, and I'm not black as tar. I'm a pretty chocolate brown. I was really upset. I didn't tell anybody about that project or anything. I'm like, what? How are you a DP and you don't know your lights and stuff like that? Well, so then I've been on other projects where they show my true, you know, and then so that kept me motivated because I was like, if I'm gonna be looking like a crispy burnt piece of bacon, I don't know. But so everybody has to study their craft or their part of this. Like if you say you're going to be a DP, learn your lights, you know, all this kind of stuff. Learn when to put the silver on the gold side, and the sun needs to be behind the camera or in the front of the camera, or whatever. Because like this is a team effort to have a great project. So, you know, if we do our part, you need to make us look good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So thankfully, there was only like 2 projects where I had encountered that. But because of that, I was like, I wonder if that's why sometimes, I don't know if it's so much of a prejudice racist thing or if they're like, it's too much work, you know, because they don't want to have to make sure our lighting is right. But I've been seeing more shows where people look like us. Like
they got to learn our lighting. They have to.
Well, there's so many beautiful chocolate dark-skinned people now on TV, and I just love it. But it wasn't like that before. And like I said, when I saw Viola Davis and she was the star, I was like, okay, I'm going for it now. I'm going for it. I have no more excuses. No more excuses. Let me follow my passion. Let me follow my dream. Because I don't want to be 60, 70, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I wonder if I would have tried. I wonder if I don't want regrets when I'm an old lady. You know what I mean? If I live to be an old lady,
Right.
I don't want regrets. So I was like, let me go for it. I have no more excuses. You got beautiful Viola Davis there killing the game. She got a whole show so based around her character, you know. And then, you know, so since that, I when I see shows like, oh gosh, what is it? It comes on BET, I think, and it's about the family and they drugs and this and the other. I can't think of the name of it, but most of them are chocolate. I mean, they got a good mix. They have light skin. They have the spectrum. They have the spectrum, and I love shows that have the spectrum. You have a real fair skinned person, you have a real dark skinned person, and then you got me in the middle. Those shows I love, I admire, and respect the director, the producers for selecting the spectrum. You know what I mean? Of our beautiful race. You know what I mean? And like even like some Tyler Perry shows, he's got sisters, he's got the dark skinned girls, he's got the real light skinned girls, the oval, like he mixed it up. You know, there's shows on BET and TV1 and this and that. Everybody's mixing it up now. So I won't say that that we have a hard time getting casted. Now we still do, but I won't blame it so much on, because I do see representation now, which is very encouraging. You know, when it wasn't there, I wasn't encouraged to do this because I was like, they're not going to choose me anyway. I'm a size 8.
But then the other thing,
you know,
the other thing we got to watch out for too is our pay. You know, Octavia Spencer had did a movie a while ago, and I read the article about this particular movie. I can't remember the name of it, but she was the star along with another white woman, and the white woman was getting paid more than she was. But that particular white woman went back and told them, "I'm not doing this film unless you pay her the same thing that I'm getting paid." And she started, and they paid her the same amount. And I said, "Wow, now that's deep." And I read that in the article. I said, "Wow, now that's some serious power right there."
Yes,
but it goes to show how difficult it is for us. We have to go an extra mile to do stuff, whereas it's easier for other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's like that in life. Like,
it is.
You go in a restaurant, we have to be dressed. We can't just go in like khakis and a slide and a t-shirt. You know, no, we have to be dressed, otherwise we're gonna be looked at funny, you know, side eye and like, you know, not treated well. You have to always look your best or dress your best when you're, you know, like us, because you get more respect that way. When you look good, you feel good, but people also treat you better if they think you're attractive or if they think you look good.
Yeah. Now you a triple threat. You're a dancer, you're a singer, you're an actress.
Yeah.
Now which one came first?
Dance.
Okay, because you don't. I've seen a lot of your stuff, but I don't see a lot of dancing and stuff. So what type of dancing are you familiar with?
All types. Modern, jazz, ballet, point, ballroom, liturgical. Yeah. Then I'll do it all. I can do a little hip hop, contemporary. You know, did I say tap already? Yeah, like I do everything. I've done everything. I'm not doing much of any of it now, but I still can. You don't lose it. Like riding a bike.
Right.
Just got to stretch a little more.
When did you start dancing? You started dancing since when you was a kid, or?
When I was a child, because my sister was a dance instructor. So I have two older sisters. And one of them, she's actually still a dance instructor. One of them was a dance instructor. And when we lived in New York, she danced. And I went to my first dance class there. But again, I was shy. So I wasn't ready yet, you know. Went down in Georgia, and she actually moved down, and she opened a dance school, and she had dance companies and stuff. I started with her, and then, you know, joined other dance ensembles along the way. Yeah.
Right.
Even down in the Caribbean, I was dancing down there, like, you know, it was, yeah. So I'm not the go to gym type person. I hate going to the gym. You put me in a dance class, give me some roller skates, anything that's not the gym for exercise, I will do. You tell me I got to go to the gym, I'm on the treadmill 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, What time is it? You put me in a dance class for an hour. Like, I'm like, okay, where's my water? I'm good. Let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? So you give me some roller skates, I'll skate the whole session. You know what I mean? Like I started this new thing, double dutch aerobics. You ever heard of that? I don't know. Double dutch aerobics here in Atlanta. There's this couple. They're here in Atlanta, man. I didn't even know. So I saw them on the Tamron Hall show one day. And I was like, I wonder where they are. And I Googled and they were here. And I went, man, they can teach you how to jump double dutch in a minute or less. So I used to jump double dutch when I was a child, but I hadn't done that in years. And man, it's so fun. You got to check it out. They're on Bolton Road here in Atlanta.
So it's like double dutch jump rope?
Double dutch, yeah. Double dutch.
So it's like a whole
husband and wife team.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's a whole, like, that's what they teach, the whole
that's
double
what they
dutch
do.
thing.
Yeah. You know, they even give certifications. Because when I went, my first class, there were people from all over that were there getting certified so that they could bring double dutch back. Because when we were little, that was something. So they have a certification class. So people go there to get certified to be double dutch instructors. So there were people from New York, serious? Charlotte, you name it. Yeah. But it was so fun. It was so fun. People of all ages were there too. Like people over 50. I think the youngest person in the class might have been late 20s that day. Yeah, everybody's an adult. It was so fun. So I haven't been back in a minute, but I'm going back because I did it through the Groupon, so I still have some classes left.
Man, I didn't know anything about that.
Yes, you got to check them out, and it's so fun. And I'm telling you, you think you can't do it in a minute or less, you're gonna be jumping double dutch. I'm telling you, her husband is about maybe just as tall as you, or maybe just a few inch or two shorter. So you can't even use your height as an excuse.
No. Hey, I've learned a lot of things. I'm right at 6'5", so I've learned a lot of things about my height. Number one, I hit my head a lot, so I just got to go with it.
Yeah.
And number two, tall people have problems with their knees at some point, so it's hard for me to do all that stuff now like I used to. But I definitely wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind trying. There was a lady in there,
65. There was a lady in that class that day,
65.
Yeah, she was being certified, I think. So that, because like if you have Girl Scouts or people in the neighborhood, because like I said, some of them was from New York, some of them was from DC, whatever. They're taking this back so they can teach the kids, bring it back for this generation. And there were women of all ages in there, all size, shape, sizes, which is beautiful. I love it. Sean and Michelle, double dutch aerobics right here in Atlanta.
So when did you get into singing? When did singing come out? So
I've always wanted to sing, but again, that shyness cripple you. It will. But long as I was in the choir or whatever, I was good. Never wanted to be soloist. Even now I don't. But when I was down in the VI, when I did the musical, that same friend Kim who told me to audition for Dreamgirls, we had to sing. And they find you can't hide because they need to know what part to give you. So that's when that bug bit me again. So I started singing backup. So I started taking voice lessons with this lady named Miss Peterson. We called her Miss P. And then I started doing backup singing for this young lady named Tia, this reggae artist named Tia,
right.
And this reggae artist named Jaman. He's in St. Thomas, she's in St. Croix. So, they have CDs, videos, whatever out, but I did backup for them. I did in-studio stuff with Tia, and I did live concerts with Tia and Jaman.
Okay.
And so I like it. I like harmonizing. Me and that same friend that's getting married in June, we were Tia's backup singers and his. And
really,
harmony is the thing, man. I love to do that. See, as you can hear my voice, like I sing soprano and alto, and lately I can do a little tenor, but it was my train of thought being funny.
Out of the
anyway,
three,
we did harmonies. But I was about to say, I don't have that powerhouse, strong, whatever voice like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and those. I have a softer voice, more like Janet Jackson. You know what I mean?
right?
And so that voice coach taught me. She was like, when you select songs that fit your voice. You know, sometimes people make mistakes when they go do karaoke or whatever. They want to, a few drinks and people are having fun, so what? But if you're really trying to sing, you sing songs that fit your voice, not necessarily the songs you like. If you want to sound good. So, but with the backups for Tia and Jaman, it's like we had harmonies and their rhythms and things like that. It just made it so much fun. I love live performances. That live band gives you that energy. It's like being at a live basketball game, at a football game or whatever, the energy in the room, right? So when you're performing live at a concert, like you can feel the bass, you can feel the drums, and it's just so fun. And then of course you get to dance or whatever. It's cool.
So what do you like more? Acting, singing, dancing?
Acting. I love acting. Like I told you, I'm a nurse, and I've had other jobs in my life, but it's like when you go to work, you get there and 2 hours later, you're like, man, it's not time to go yet. It's only, I can be on set from 7 a.m. to midnight, and I'm still like, it's just, I love it. It is invigorating, and not saying that I don't get tired. It is different. It feels different. It's like I'm supposed to be here. This is me. Like I'm happy all the time. And when I have to do auditions and things like that, it's like, sometimes and my acting coach, shouts out to actress Christine Horn. That's my other inspiration, my mentor. You might know her as Mabel on BMF. Or Snow, White Diamond on Snowfall. That's my acting coach. She is, words can't even describe, man. The booking magnet. She is an acting, currently acting actress, and she gives it all to you when you're with her, right? She gives you just nuggets and gems and stuff that you wouldn't hear anyplace else. But her thing is, there's enough work for everybody. You're not taking anything from me. Right. And I'm teaching you what I wish somebody would have taught me. And man, when I tell you this woman, the booking magnet, actress Christine Horn, I just finished this RISE program. It was supposed to be 6 months. It ended up being 8 because she's a working actress, a woman of integrity, and she cares. Our thing was 6 months, but because she was booked for a gig in South Africa, she was gone for like 2 months. So she gave us that time, but she still was in communication with us during that time, but she gave us her one-on-one again. She extended us 2 more months without charging us, because other people would have been like, well, time's up. But no, she didn't do that. She didn't do that because she actually cares.
What is it about? Go ahead.
But she one of the things she teaches you is like when you get that C-mail or however you find out you booked an audition, it's not dragging your feet. Get to it. Start doing the work. Start preparing or whatever. But sometimes we procrastinate, right? Yep. So when I get in that procrastination mode, which I try not to do often, but once I'm doing my self-tape and once I'm done, it's the same energy as having been on set. Like, you feel so good, and it's like this adrenaline rush and everything, And my agent, I'm gonna shout out to TDH Talent Unlimited. My agent, she's very hands-on, and so she checks your audition before she sends it. She's not gonna just use. She actually looks at it, and then she'll submit it, and then you get this email saying, "Congratulations, your agent submitted it to casting." So then that's another like, yes, Like, okay, she knows send it back with me. I would tone that down a bit, or I would do this different. Like, no, she sends it, and she's been doing it enough to know what they're looking for. So that's just like, okay, that's another.
So I have a question about that. I'm glad you brought that up, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who are watching, they don't understand what us as actors have to go through and what the process is in finding a great agent. So what was it about your agent that made you gravitate to her and want her to be a part of your team?
Well, the first thing was so I already had one, and shout out to my agent before, King Rock Talent Agency, because when I just got started, she picked me up when nobody else would, because I didn't have enough stuff on my resume. So,
Okay.
but she's not here. So I needed somebody here. That was first. I needed somebody here. Even though she didn't work Southeast, sometimes like a lot of stuff is connections and people knowing you as well,
Right.
And so my agent that I have now is definitely more known. The other thing was my acting coach taught us how to shop for an agent. So that was part of my program, learning those kind of things. And then, you got to make sure you got your current headshots and your resume is updated and so on and so forth. And what you do is you go to their website and you follow their submission instructions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because some of them are only accepted certain times a year. So you're bothering them probably if you're sending them stuff when they don't want stuff,
Right.
The first thing you do is you find out the agents in the area. And then you go to their websites and then you see what they have to offer. You look and see what their roster looks like and so on and so forth. And then you follow their submission instructions.
I tell people that all the time. Make sure you go and look at their roster, see how many people look like you on their roster. That is so important, because if it's a lot of you on there, that means you in competition with all these people for that certain spot. So people, when you get an agent, make sure you go and look at their site and see how many people look like you or similar to you on their site. That is very, very important.
All of that is included in like, how some acting coaches just teach you like script analysis and things like that. But she teaches us about the business. She teaches us about her appearance. She teaches us about searching for an agent. She teaches us about, the right headshot.
You go in depth with you.
Stuff. Man, when I tell you, Christine don't play. And then we have homework. we have like self-tape assignments. I'm auditioning every week with her because you get her assistant sends it to you on Monday, the script, and you have to have it in by Friday. And it's just like a self-tape, like you got to dress the part and everything, like you were auditioning for casting. And then she critiques it with love. She's not gonna be like, oh, that was good, just to get you. No, Letitia, that eyelash was coming off. Like you don't want to distract casting at all. If your eyelash is flapping, they're looking at that girl's eyelash. They didn't see my performance. You know what I mean? Like she, and I've got 8 holes, 4 and 4. So oftentimes I would do my homework for her and I would have everything in, not these because unless the character called for that. But I wouldn't take these out because I was lazy. So she would be like, good job, this and this, but unless that nurse is edgy, you need to take all them earrings out. You know what I mean? Like Christine don't play, not even on the playground, but it's in love. It's not in shade or
trying to beat you down.
She's a beautiful Black woman with a beautiful heart, and she wants us all to win, especially her students, So she's telling you stuff, and she's got programs for every budget. I was in Rise with a small group of I got a brother, Ronnie Hudson. Shout out to Ronnie. And I think about how many more sisters do I have? Like 5 or 6, because it's close knit. So we have group with her, and then we have our individual with her. So I got a new little family that understands the struggle, and we encourage each other and everything. Kenesha and Debbie and Melina and all of those wonderful, beautiful people. It's about 6 women, Jordan, all of them. We were close knit. She has a booking magnet live thing here in Atlanta in July, actually. That you should check out. Just look her up, actress Christine Horn, booking magnet live. And you get a lot of stuff there. Remember the guy who did the commercial, Scoop? There it is. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
He was one of the speakers last year at the commercial on like improv and whatever. Like she brings in working people to teach her people. And that was just at the workshop. So, you know, when we were in the program, we got a lot of one-on-one with industry professionals, which was whatever. But she has Book More TV. She's got Red Carpet Club, something for every budget. And she has videos on YouTube. Like, male, female, it's not just for women, but she definitely resonated with me. And I've learned so much. And while this is not an easy thing to do, she made it easier.
Right.
And let you know you're not alone. Because the rejection, you know, you get what? How many no's to one yes? And
you get a lot of no's.
Right.
But and you know,
when that yes comes.
Now you could also get them yeses that you don't expect to get.
Yeah.
You know, I remember having a film before where it was for a light-skinned guy with light colored eyes and dread. And they gave me the role. And I couldn't believe I got it.
That was meant for you.
It was meant for me. They rewrote the script and everything, and I was the star of it. So I thought that was a great accomplishment because I never expected to get that role. They just said, "Hey man, just read for this. Just read for it." You know, and I did, and I got the role. So it was amazing.
And that's a lesson because sometimes, like, if your agent sends you something and it's like, you know, the person is 50 years old or this or that or other, like you said, the description isn't you.
Right.
And then you're like, well, why? But you got to audition anyway, because sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for till they see it. And when they see it, like they saw you, they were like, yo, let's change it. And they changed it for you. Like that's awesome. That was your role. And my coach and other industry professionals like Viola and even Letitia Wright, when you Google her, I show up too, because our name is spelled the same way. If you Google me, she gonna show up because our first name is spelled the same way. But so I saw somebody interviewed her and she said she no longer takes the no's as rejection. She just says that wasn't meant for me. You know, it wasn't meant for me. She doesn't see it as rejection anymore. And we kind of have to do that for ourselves because, and my coach teaches you celebrate every win. Audition is a win because how many people submitted? They actually want to see you.
Right.
So it's a win. Like if 5,000 people submitted, but you got an audition, 1,000 people didn't get an audition.
Right.
So you stood out. Casting saw you. You know, and she was like, so if you audition and you didn't book it, don't be discouraged. That's a win. Celebrate it. You know? So change.
I love that.
Changing your mindset helps too. And we learn all of that with her.
Yeah. Cause I think as actors, we get frustrated on those cold seasons because those cold seasons happen where you audition and it don't seem like you land in anything. And then all of a sudden, boom, you get something.
Yeah, I quit so many times, but that's like it's 10 after 7 right now. I quit, and then by midnight, I'm like, well, let me just see what's on Actors Access. Let me just see if there's something. Like I quit, but let me just see because you can't. When you're in, you're in. That's how I know I'm supposed to be doing this because I can walk away from people, I can walk away from things, but it just won't leave me alone. I'm getting my little feelings and quit. The most I've quit for is like 2 days. That's it. And it was hard not to look, and you know, it's because it won't let you. It won't leave you alone, you know?
Yeah. I love acting. I love everything about it. I love the good. I love the bad. And I think when you in a place where you can love it to that degree, it's where you supposed to be.
That's where you're supposed to be.
I'm just like you. I breathe this thing every day. I'm always researching, looking up stuff, and you know, I have my own film company, so now I'm on a whole different spectrum of the scope. But I still do other film projects and be in other people's movies and different things like that. So I'm very excited about acting. It's just if somebody just called me about acting, I get excited. I can talk about it all day. In fact,
I'm in love with acting. somebody say, they'll be like, oh, are you in a relationship? Yep, with acting. I'm in love with acting. That's the one thing that through the ups and downs, like nothing, it wavers just enough for me to be like, I can't leave it. I can't. I want to because my feelings are hurt right now. I'm in my feelings, right. But I can't. Always come back.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
If someone was to call you right now,
yes,
with the number one role, this is the role you've been waiting for. You've always wanted to play this character. What would that be?
Oh my gosh. That's kind of challenging for me to answer because like there is no one specific that I want to play. There is no one specific. It would be a lead on a successful series. That's what it would be. But there is no one because I can be your. You remember I was doing my little skits, just having fun on Instagram with my little Marilyn Monroe and my little, my version of her just being silly. Remember when I was doing the Suspects? I was just playing around because my coach says you have to have, like, if it was up to me, I would go on Instagram for entertainment. I wouldn't post anything. But, she was like, you got to put stuff out there. So I did remember the 4 ladies, the suspects who killed the guy. So, like those 4 people are cool. Like I love Regina Hall because she's usually playing like, even on Girls Trip, she was like more like the level-headed, wife, good girl one. Right. So I like her. I love Gab Union because she can often play the bitch. Like, remember I called the guy F-boy? I don't know if we can curse on your show. So remember, no, just real indifferent. And then I can, play like a sexy, seductress, vixen. I can play, like, there's so many things that I can play. So I wouldn't want to narrow it down to just this one type. You know what I mean? So my dream would be to be a lead on a successful show. You tell me what you need me to be, and I'll bring it to you.
I heard that. I heard that. It's interesting because I asked that question because for whatever reason, most women want to kill somebody. They want to be a killer, some type of assassin or something. Yeah. They want to beat up a bunch of men. I'm just like, what? Or they want to be some type of superhero, female superhero of some type. So I get those 2 every single time I ask that question. But what you said was really good. You plain and simple want to just be a lead on a top successful TV series. And you've done a few TV series. You've done let's see, Finessing is your most recent one. The Good Matchmaker. And a couple miniseries, The Transporter, Emergency. I did my little research on you.
And my first web series, shout out to Adrian Cannon, was Thick and Thin, and that was, did we have like 8 episodes, something like that? So that was my first web series here in Atlanta. And that was pretty good. And then, yes, I've done Emergency, #Emergency. People keep asking me when it's coming back. I don't know. They want to know who got killed, And so I reached out to the director yesterday. So she said that she was trying to build her network because, these projects, they take funding or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, Finessing, yes. And I'm a DEA agent on Atlanta's Ugly 2.0. And which is funny, we're currently doing that. This season, the 2.0 is actually, so there's Atlanta's Ugly, but Atlanta's Ugly 2.0, this is the first season of that. And we got like 8 episodes, so I'm the lead DEA agent on that. And I have some other projects that are still in post-production, even though it's been over a year.
Right. Now drama, sci-fi, horror, or comedy?
Drama. Give me the drama.
You like
Give me the
drama.
drama.
Okay. Okay. And why drama? What is it about drama that draws you?
It's the easiest for me. It's the easiest. I can go there in a minute. I've had enough life experiences that I can pull from there
You can go there
and
in a
the
minute.
drama. Yeah, I can. I've had enough stuff happen from my childhood to this. Well, not today. Today was a good day. I just laid around. To last week when my child, which is my dog, or 2 weeks ago, she almost died on me. She got really sick. And the emotions that you would have thought she was actually my human, you know what I mean? It killed me, like, to think that I was gonna lose her. And I, oh my gosh, the pain and that came along with that. Plus I've lost my mom. So all I have to do is think back to that. But then I've had relationship issues, people who weren't very kind to me, people I wasn't very kind to, we like to do it one-sided, but
Right.
like, if you're over 25, you weren't always nice either.
You got a good point there.
We like to be like, oh, they did. Well, what did you do? And it's not always one person. Sometimes it is, no. Sometimes it is. Yeah. But usually we play, even if it's just a sprinkle of salt, we play a little part in it. Something we probably could have done differently, not necessarily to save the relationship, but to just have been better in it. You know what I mean? So, I've lived. I've been married, divorced, experienced death, experienced love, experienced pain, experienced all kinds of things, high times, low times, fighting somebody trying to steal my inheritance, having to go to court and battle. So I have enough stuff to pull from. And then I watch TV. The greats say they steal from somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take a little
I
bit of
learned
that,
a lot from television.
So drama is the easiest for me. Now, I think I'm pretty funny, but am I sitcom funny? If the writer is...
That's funny how you just said that. I think I'm pretty funny.
I think I could pull off a comedy. As a matter of fact, I know I can. I can do a comedy because I'm up for any challenge, and it's the feeling when you're successful in it, you know what I mean? So comedy, I could do that, the timing. That's another thing she taught us about, the timing, because you can tell I grew up in the South. I talk a little slow. So I was born in the North, but I grew up in the South. We moved there when I was 6. So when one of the things she would talk about is my pacing. My pacing on my auditions, like my self-tape auditions. So now I'm talking to you like this, but when it's time for me to do an actual audition, then I know I need to pick up my pacing or whatever. Well, comedy, the timing and the pacing is even faster sometimes, Right. So you got to know all of this stuff. Well, I'm prepared. She prepared me, so I could do comedy. The drama would just come naturally for me.
I think it's great that you have an agent that works with you like that, because there are a lot of agents.
Coach. That's my coach.
That's your coach? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cause and how important is it? Because a lot of people feel like once they get to running, they don't have time to be taking classes and getting coaching and stuff anymore. People don't understand that that's a constant thing that you have to do. Even Denzel Washington still go to take classes, and all these top actors, they still go take classes at different things. How important for you is it for you to continue taking classes and learning your craft?
Extremely important, because you learn something at every stage and from everybody. So when I first got here, my first anything television here in Atlanta, I was an extra on Greenleaf. You remember Greenleaf?
Yes, I do.
So when I was on Greenleaf, I met a lot of people in holding. And so this one guy told me about Premier Actors Network, Dwayne Boyd. So that's the first acting school I went to here. in Atlanta. So, and that's where my headshots and everything came from. So it was Dwayne and Todd and Larry Rim. They were the instructors there. So I learned, like, because we can act, everybody can act, but there's certain foundational things you need to know. Right. So I learned my foundation with those guys, and so then after that, I was in a short film and I made an acquaintance there, and she booked something and she shouted out Christine Horn. So then, or book more TV. So then that's how I found out about Christine. I started doing my research there. So even as much as she has given us, and the package came with stuff that I can refer back to. It's not like right. I'll have this information to refresh myself with forever, But even she is like, people have different methods and whatever. You never stop learning, whenever, like, anybody who tells you my way is the only way is not somebody you need to be with. My way is the only right way is not somebody you need to be with. She encourages us to continue learning because now we've graduated from her. So even if it's like practice, even if I go somewhere else and, they just I get to exercise my muscle, I'm still learning. I'm still working with other people. Your take on the script and my take on the script might be different. So in acting class, when I know how I'm going to say my lines, but when you bring it one way, I'm gonna have to change how I'm saying my lines because it won't match. It won't work for the scene. Right. So part of being an acting class is knowing how to work with your scene partner, and no matter how many times you've been on set or on a film, a movie, whatever, people are different. People have different takes. So it's just, you're just exercising your muscle. Then there's books. If you don't want to have the money to go to class or you don't want to go to class, then you can buy books, but you watch TV with a different eye, not like this is my favorite show, but what are they doing? How would I have done that differently? Or can I emulate that? Like just different things, You can't just be like, oh, I got it. Like you said, the greats still learn from other people. They learn, they steal, they, take classes, they read books, like, yeah, I mean, you just can't stop learning. Like you can't just stop learning in life. Like nobody knows everything. Like that's crazy. That's not even like being realistic in life.
Now
you learned something new today. You learned about double Dutch aerobics. We're always learning.
What if you could do a movie or TV series with one famous male and one famous female? Pick one of each.
Oh boy. Drum roll, please. Famous female. I want to work with Viola.
I knew you were gonna say that. You mentioned her a few times, so I knew she was an icon for you.
I want to work with Viola.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Famous male. Well, gosh, because I admire Tom Hanks, I admire Michael B. Jordan, I admire I like, if Chad was still here, I would have said Chad, but Chad would both. But let's see, who? Man.
So I
used to be in love. I used to be in love with Michael Ealy back in the day. Before I was taking it seriously, I would have said Michael Ealy. but and Michael is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no shade, but back then my motive was different. Who? I mean, some of them they're so good. Everybody's so good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, just for the heck of it, Michael B. Jordan.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people
I can't choose. I don't know who. I don't know.
He's going to wind up being the top male actor in Hollywood at some point. He's already approaching that.
Yeah.
So, and it's such a how I say, the whole film industry it's so political. You know, it's so much to it that people don't see behind the scenes. You know, I go out to LA. I've been out to LA several times. I've been to a lot of the events out there. It's totally different than being out here. And out there, you got to know somebody who knows somebody to get in out there. You can't just walk out there and be like, I'm going to go to this event or I'm going to go do this. You got to know somebody to get in those events. And when you get in there, you face to face with all these well-known actors and actresses that you never thought that you would meet.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can't even take pictures and stuff with them because now you look like you
a groupie.
Right. And I went to an event like that and I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there with all these different people and I said, God, I want to take a picture. I want to take a picture with him, I want to take a picture with her. But I just didn't. I just walked up to him and the first thing they ask you, what's your IMDb?
Yeah.
And they're going to look you up and see if you who you say you are.
Yeah.
And if you who you say you are, then they'll say, hey, come sit down, let's talk. That's exactly how it was with me when I went out there. But, you know, LA is just a whole different ball game than it is here in Atlanta. A lot of people's moving here to Atlanta now. You can definitely work constantly here in Atlanta. It is the #1 place in the world to film right now. It used to be LA, now it's Atlanta. So Atlanta is blowing up.
I wish we could do something about this traffic. I was coming from Marietta the other day. It took me 2.5 hours to get home. It don't make no goddamn sense.
We're approaching.
I don't know if we could cuss on your show, and I shouldn't be cussing anyway. But being in traffic that long makes you want to cuss.
I bet it does. I bet it does. We're approaching the end of the show, man. It has been such a great show interviewing you. Thank you. Open and, you know, personable about everything. What is your social media handle so people can follow you and see your success?
Okay. My Instagram is at Letitia Argola, at LETITIA ARGOLA, at Letitia Argola. I do still have Facebook. My Facebook is Letitia Wise. I have a Letitia Argola Facebook, and I need to tighten up. That's another thing as an actress, you know, we have to keep all our stuff together because I don't really have like a team. I need to update my IMDb. My coach told me I need to fix that. I need to update my Letitia Argola Facebook. So just do Letitia Wise Facebook, and I'll accept you maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I'll accept the friend request. It's LETITIA. No, you can do my Letitia Argola. LETITIA ARGOLA. That'll inspire me to pay it more attention. Yes.
All right. And what is one piece of advice you will give people who are trying to get into the industry, who aspire to be an actress? What just one thing that you would give them?
Don't ever give up on your dream. You don't want any regrets.
Nice. On that note, I thank you, Letitia, for taking the time out for coming on WCEGwood, Hollywood of the South. It has been a great interview.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you know, and we got some work to do. So we got some work to do, and I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much. And this is Wardell Richardson on WCEGwood, Hollywood of the South. See us next time in 2 weeks with my next guest, and I will see you then. Peace.